So we are Creepy Films, and this is our film, REPRESSED. Right. REPRESSED is a horror thriller film that is aimed at 16 to 18-year-olds. This is our target audience. This is because the characters in the film are of the same audience, very bad. These people don't watch horror films on their own, they go in groups, which is perfect because our film's about a group of friends. So. The story is about a psychotic middle-aged man who goes around murdering teenagers in order to avenge his son's death and commits suicide because of teen bullying. The film focuses on a group of teenage friends who are incorrectly targeted, so the audience will know this, and it follows the journey they have to go of survival. Hence, some memories are better left forgotten, because this is the man's memory of his son is what's going to kill all these people. And the characters?
We've also got some really memorable characters. First of all, Daniel Biggs, played by moi, 16 years old, has interests in around drawing, kind of which relates to his ambition wanting to be an illustrator, and kind of dislikes heavy music and sportswear because that's kind of not his representation and stuff. And he is the first victim and dies before the movie even starts, which is kind of typical, really.
So how do we know about him?
Because he's shown in flashback.
Oh, I see, flashback, yeah, excellent, yeah.
Next.
Then we have Michael Thomas, played by Philip here, who is 17 years old, likes kind of music and hanging out with friends, which is the reason we kind of hang out in a big group. His ambition is to be a professional cricketer, and he is the second victim, who is shown being chased. Then we have John McIntosh, played by one of our fellow friends, who's 17 years old, likes kind of like sweet comedy, kind of stuff like that. Doesn't really like shopping, not the biggest fan, and he wants to become a detective, which is kind of interesting for this kind of film, which is kind of a kind of mystery kind of thing. And he is the third victim, so he goes along. And last of all, we have James Murdoch, played by another one of our fellow people, who is the oldest in the group, so he's the one who is kind of the most independent and whatever, likes eating, really likes to play guitar, and he wants to start a band. And funny enough, he doesn't die, so typical that.
What are the chances? Okay, events. The two remaining friends, because we like to shake it up a bit, the first two that you saw died pretty much in the first 2 minutes. This isn't following a normal conventional film where you have a group of friends and throughout the course one drops off as it goes. We're just mixing it up, throwing the audience right into it, and when they argue, we're not sure what's going to happen. The audience they will side with one person and it will just add attention to the rest of the film. Wherever they try and get to help, because these aren't idiots really, they will try and get help, but anyone who does will get brutally murdered, which is why for the target audience they would like that, because they might like gore and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why they will watch it. And the concludes with John murdered, James barely surviving, and the killer on the brink of death, while knowing that it was him who pushed his son too far with his old military ways, nothing to do with teenage bullying. So it's sort of a shock ending, because all those deaths were for nothing. No. Why should you care? You should care, because these are teenagers, just like the target audience, just like you. Exactly. And they've done nothing wrong. Even though they've done nothing wrong, they are still going to get killed, murdered. What makes this story unique? It could happen to anyone. Anyone could go mental over a memory and just start killing people. That's why the audience will see this on 2 levels.
And anybody can become a kind of victim of this kind of
That's very topical. I have to say, all your films are really topical, yeah, because it's quite fresh in our memories, isn't it, that this happens infrequently, but it's a big news story when it does, so good, yeah.
That's why some memories are better left forgotten.
That's that kind of slogan.
Excellent, really good, yeah.
Questions?
Okay, I'll start by asking your budget.
Our budget, we don't...
So we've got 300,000, 500,000, and what for this?
We don't...
It's like a...
It's really low budget, that's what we're saying.
Like, It's your film, you can call it, but
maybe even less because it's
there's no CGI because it's all done by actors, and
Yeah.
it doesn't need CGI.
There's no supernatural element.
Okay.
It's
It's
just
a bit like Paranormal Activity,
Yeah.
getting it seen. Okay, questions over there.
What films have you researched?
films.
That's all right.
The thing is, we're not exactly needing to copy from other films. We don't need to do that, you see. We're putting these characters into a situation. These characters will act just how they would in real life. We're not making a situation and then making characters that will fit for that, like so many films. Next question.
Go on at this table.
Why do you think people are going to be interested in this film?
Who are we gonna?
Well, because you relate to the characters because you're the same age as them and stuff like that.
And lots of gore. People like that.
Yeah, 'cause
That's
if you like
sexy.
horror films, it's got
What
all the
if
conventions of
it's,
horror.
what if it's someone that's older than your target age?
Well, they can still watch it. They'll
But
still
they're just
get
wearing
the thread. But it's mainly aimed at the
Yeah.
people because it's that age.
Yeah.
What inspired you to do this type of film?
Just because this is set close to home, all these locations will be shot near our house. We walk through them, and at night it does give you do think of what would happen if someone was following you through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who do you want to distribute your film? Like,
Oh,
what
that's a good
company?
point,
We would probably like to distribute our company to maybe
Something British, because I don't think the American audience or
Working title, for
That's a
example,
good
would be
sign,
all
yeah.
right.
well,
Yeah.
media.
not kind of big
Yeah.
budget
Yeah.
distribution.
So a working title type film. I remember what working title do though. They are the sort of company that will not. Tim Bevan says he won't get out of bed for less than 20 million. So probably it's not the quite one for you. I would say a small, yes, Shane Meadows, Big Arty. They might be interested in distributing it, or one of those. I agree with you. I think it is really quite a unique, and you can actually get it out there, and it can become quite a cult classic for all of you actually on those small ones. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah.
Go on.
Your film's like about, it's about some people just going into the woods and getting killed.
No, the woods is just sort of a starting
to
point.
establish the scene and
Yeah,
create
so-
tension.
It's really set around
The whole area.
the
Okay,
area,
but
so the-
how are you going to put all of that information about that guy who wants to go in a band and put it into 3 minutes? And how are you going to show that like the dad's out to kill because of that?
No, we're not going to be doing that as
Trailer.
the opening. It's
Yeah.
just the whole film.
the whole film. This
The
is
opening
Yeah,
is just
No,
a
the
guy
opening,
who-
it's just one person getting murdered by
Yeah.
people, that's all.
You could show that in a shot of the woods there. I mean, a second shot of the woods, somebody walking through the wood. Remember, an image is far more powerful than words, so you can actually, all of those things, those elements can be shown in 3 minutes, just by having somebody walk through a wood and emphasising the wood. Okay? Good. Excellent. That's really good.